Again now with more bitter truth. Now before we get into this video, I'm gonna let you know right now, people, that if you have a channel and you can make videos and put out what you believe on there, yes, it's okay. But I got a lot of dummies on my channel that won't wake up, you understand? When I tell you something, you need to pay attention. And if you're gonna call me a brother, oh Mag, my brother this and my brother that, and then at the same time you're trying to debunk the Mag, listen to this, man. Pick up the truth, so-called. You need to understand, dude. When I tell you it's the end of times, times is what you know and what's going on right now. You ever understand? Past time, present time. What's going on right now is the times. That's what you need to understand. And if you're dumb and you can't get it, yes, you can ask the Mag. You can't just make a video 2 hours trying to debunk the Mag. You need to wake up. End of times meaning it's a reset. How many times I don't tell you that 2020 is a reset? The times is what's actually going on. What's going on right now is the times. So what you know going on right now is not going to be later on. You understand what I mean? What you see now is going to change. That's why they give you this pandemic and 2020 for the reset. Let's get into this right here and break it down. And like I say, a lot of people need to wake up on this truth right here. Now, with this pandemic going on, and they tell the people that, you know, they can stay in their home, they're going to hold off eviction and all of that shit. You believe them? I already told you from day one that they can't control the so-called people that own the buildings. You understand? And rent it out to people. You think they can control them and tell them not to evict you? We go get into this and show you how the pandemic gonna affect the people. No virus, just what they put on. As you could see this person right here with all orange and all books behind him. Run it.
During this pandemic, we hear it repeatedly from public health officials. Stay at home. But many Americans don't have stable housing. And as William Brangham reports, a growing number
They don't have stable housing. And I told you already, when they tell you to stay home, they're trying to destroy the masses. The weak gonna break. You never get it. Just pay attention. And if you pay attention to my video all the way through, of course you will get it, instead of saving it and trying to make a rebuttal. We're trying to make a rebuttal on my video. You need to wake your ass up and pay attention.
People are being forced out of their homes because they cannot make rent payments.
Like tens of thousands of Americans right now, Rhonda Anderson and her family are being evicted.
So it's stressful and it's hard. They can go outside.
And of course, they've been evicted. And of course, the camera crew and these news people know about it to go in there and get them an interview. All TV for the masses. But I'm trying to show you people, a lot of people gonna break in this pandemic. They're just mocking you with these shows. That's all
Let's
they're
back
doing.
up. Last December, Anderson's family was excited when they moved to North Charleston, South Carolina. She and her husband had both found good jobs and this nice rental home close
Yes,
to
they
work.
found good job. You're gonna explain what the good job was? All psyops for the masses.
But then, 3 months after they moved, the pandemic
Of course, it's
hit.
3 months.
Anderson's husband lost his home restoration job when the virus and the shutdown dried up all his company's projects.
My husband filed for unemployment, didn't get no unemployment. So basically it left me in a situation to do stuff by myself. Try to keep food in the house and try to pay the rent.
Rhonda took on extra hours at her job. She's the head cook at a local nursing home. These days, she's
See, a local nursing home, and you know the nursing home already tied to this so-called virus. So there you go, people. Of course, this one picking up extra hours at the nursing home. Okay.
working up to 75 hours a week, but it still hasn't been enough to make rent on time.
Wow.
I've never been in this situation before.
Wow. So you're working at a nursing home 75 hours a week and you still can't pay your rent? Okay.
In a way, never.
After paying the rent late in April and in May, her landlord told her she was being evicted.
I'm asking, like, how is you going to evict us?
Watch them post up the Amazon box right there with the arrow on it. Of course,
And
not
we
but
still
code
paying
on.
our payment. He said, I just want y'all out of there. And we didn't know why.
Wow.
The baseball pitches, yeah.
Wow. So you pay your rent, he just want you harder there. So you already pay your rent, so it's not a problem that you can't pay your rent, but he just want you harder there. Okay.
Landlord said Anderson paid her rent late several times, and she was violating her lease because her 20-year-old son wasn't on the initial paperwork. He
There
had
you
come to
go,
live with her
people.
when
A lot of these shit right here gonna pop up because, you know, because of the so-called virus that they got out there for the masses fooling you. Yes, you're gonna have to so-called end up in somewhere where you don't wanna be, or where you're supposed to be somewhere else. You understand? But just because of the virus, you just end up there like this one so-called end up at home. Yeah, but he's not on the lease. So it's a problem with the landlord.
College closed because of the pandemic. The CARES Act, the coronavirus relief package Congress passed
And
earlier
there
this
you go, people. This is what they use to fuck with the masses all day of the week. And you see the YouTubers all coming out talking about they're giving update and stimulus. Nothing but fake where they're giving the masses. They're trying to keep your hopes up that they're going to stimulate you. Pay attention.
year halted evictions for anyone living in properties with federally backed mortgages.
Oh, federal backed mortgages. Remember, we're talking about people that rent. You understand? People that rent somewhere from somebody. Got nothing to do with no federal government. Can you hold them off and stop them from evict somebody if they don't pay the rent? I already told you. The people who currently rent, that's how they live. So when you don't pay the rent, how they gonna live? Come on, people. And the government not helping them out. So how they gonna help you out?
Only applies to about a third of renters nationwide, and it's set to expire July 25th.
There you go.
In addition to the federal protections, most states put a pause on all evictions when the pandemic first hit.
That's what they tell the masses, to keep you at ease and feel good going home and lock down, quarantine. You understand? Of course they can't hold off the renters.
Those rules only postpone evictions. If tenants violate their rental agreements, landlords can still evict them once the moratoriums expire.
There you go. That's how it is, people. So they tell you that they put it out there for a little bit and then it expire. Then the landlord can evict you. Come on, people. This was all by design. Just like I tell you with the small businesses. Yes, the weak people gonna break. It's just that simple. I told you already. A lot of people gonna get hurt by this pandemic that the government put on. Not by a virus.
And that's exactly what's happening now to people like Rhonda Anderson. When South Carolina let its moratorium expire in May, it saw a spike in eviction filings, says Charleston attorney
all
Nicole
by
Paluzzi.
design.
What we're seeing now is a significant bump in the non-payment of rent cases. And a lot of that is related to people being unemployed during COVID-19, during the shutdowns.
It's really kind of a perfect storm.
Princeton University's
Perfect
LeVar.
storm. And I already told you, the reason why they use those words is because they're the one who create the storm. Even this right here that you see they're calling a storm, they're the one who created, put it together to break the masses. And of course it's gonna work. A lot of people
evictions. He
it's gonna
says
break.
they were already a major problem before the pandemic.
The last 15, 20 years, you can see rents have been increasing considerably, whereas incomes have remained relatively stagnant.
In 2018, 1 in 4 renters in the U.S. put more than half their income towards rent. And about half of renters have less than $1,000 in savings.
And of course they can bring you this right here because it's all by design. I already told you. They have to keep people at the lower class. They have to do it, people. That's how the world so-called stay balanced. You're not getting it. This is what they do right here. All by design.
Paying rent, but they're sort of on the edge of something goes wrong, and now we've got a problem.
What's pushing many renters over that edge is the economic fallout from the pandemic. One recent survey found up to a third of all renters weren't able to pay rent in April.
A third. And of course, I'm always talking about survey. Where did they do the survey? Who did they ask those questions? I told you, fake on.
That's causing housing advocates to warn of what they see as a worst-case scenario, a spike in homelessness right in the middle
There
of
you
this.
go, people. That's what gonna happen. I already told you the pandemic is set up to break the poor people, put them under. That's what it is, people. And a lot of people gonna just break because the pressure is too much. There you go right there, people. This is what they're trying to do to the people.
Outbreak. That could expose more people to the virus if they end up in shelters where it's very hard to socially distance.
There you go. There you
But
go.
Boston
And no shelter never help the people. That's what you need to know. Have all kind of rules and regulation in there. Nobody wanna be there.
Medical Center's Dr. Megan Sandel says not having quality, stable housing is also tied to other problems like food insecurity and increased stress. And that can in turn trigger long-term physical and
There you
mental.
go. This is what they wanna do, people. Feed you out of a so-called food bank. You're not getting it. This is what they're doing. And that's why I tell you, it's the end of times. As you know it, that's what it is. 100% in. I told you, this is how they're gonna destroy the world right here for the reset.
Health issues.
An affordable home is like a prescription for health, and nothing showed that more than during the epidemic. And so now is the time to double down on stocking that housing prescription.
Like many aspects of this pandemic, people of color are also most vulnerable when it comes to housing.
See, there we go, people. people of color more vulnerable when it comes down to housing. There you go again. Everything people of color is more vulnerable. I told you to stop playing the weak.
Blacks and Hispanics in the U.S. are twice as likely to be renters as whites. And during the pandemic, Black and Hispanic workers are more likely to have lost their jobs as well.
Yeah, but I already told you, people, as you could see that plate in the back for the sun ray. I already told you. They tell you to go home from the job that you have because they shut it down. But the government places is still up and running. Amazon, Walmart, all of them still up and running. Those are government-owned places. They never close. So while your regular job close, yes, these government company will hire you. That's what they do. They're changing everything and you're not getting it. What you think when you file for unemployment? You're no longer employed. And of course, they start searching job to give you. And of course, they got it right there. The government jobs is still there, open and waiting for you. Changing at times, right here.
Renters are disproportionately likely to be extremely low income. They're much more likely to be severely cost burdened.
Diane Yentel is president of the National Low Income Housing Coalition.
As we look towards this potential wave of evictions that's coming, that
just like the wave of virus, you get wave of eviction. There you go, people. All set up for the masses.
too will disproportionately harm Black and brown renters.
Yeah, black
States
and
and
brown
cities are
renters.
already using federal money for rental assistance, but housing advocates say much more is needed. Earlier this year, Houston's $15 million fund was tapped out just
15, all coded, and there go your 90. All coded. You hear me? 6-9 right there.
minutes after it opened up to applicants. Landlords are pushing for more rental assistance too. Doug Quattrochi is the executive director of Mass Landlords, a trade association in Massachusetts.
And landlords don't like to evict their paying customers or their non-paying customers. We want to have customers and we want to have people occupy our housing.
Quattrochi says when rent isn't paid, small mom-and-pop landlords like him struggle to pay their own bills.
Exactly. That's what I don't tell you, people. They know what they're doing. It's like a train reaction. That's how they do it, people. Of course, the people depend on you to pay your rent for them to live. That's how they make their money. So when you don't pay, how they gonna live? The government trying to tell you, oh, we can hold them off and keep them from evicting you. That's bullshit.
Even though there's a pandemic, we still have to pay for repairs. We have to pay for insurance, real estate taxes. 5% of our members are insolvent and are selling their buildings to get out of the business. Another 20%
Because of this pandemic.
because of the pandemic, plus the result.
The pandemic was all set up by the one world government. This is the new world order. Dumb peoples won't get it, but this is what it is. You can debunk and rebut law you want. This is what it is right here. The earth is an ending times coming right here. Right here you see. This is why they give you this right here. You remember you used to go to work? And then you're not working anymore. You have to be at home collecting unemployment. Huh? You remember when you could have go on the street without have to tie your face up with a mask? Come on, people. Tell me what you know normal right now in this twilight zone. Bam on.
Some states have extended protections. Many have not. Diana Olick joins us now with a closer look at where in the country we could see the biggest spikes. Diana?
Here we go.
Yeah, Kelly, by the end of September, up to 23 million, or that's one in
23 million right there on the coding. This is all the numbers you go get from them. All Freemasonry.
5 American renters could be evicted
There
from
you
their
go.
homes. And that's according to analysis from the Aspen Institute. Arizona,
Of course, y'all
California.
know. Of course they know, people. How you think they know how much percentage? 1 in every 5 people gonna get evicted. There you go, people.
And Nevada, among those with the highest share of renters at risk. But when you look at the actual number of renters, it's close to 4 million Californians, 1.5 million Floridians,
There you
more than
go.
2 million Texans, and 1.5 million New Yorkers. Aspen factored in renter household incomes, savings, and rental costs by state, as well as real-time surveys on renter confidence from the U.S. Census. And those numbers were released yesterday, showing that in the last week of June, 76% of renters had made their full payments, but just 38% were highly confident that they could make their July payments.
There you go.
12% had no confidence at all.
Yes, because remember what the government tell you in the first time they was gonna lock down. They tell you they're gonna send you a stimulus check every month for 4 months. Of course they lie to you. What else you gonna take from them? Damn on.
Renters in single-family homes appear to be doing better making their payments, but single-family rental REITs like American Homes for Rent and Invitation Homes are at risk, and renters in multifamily apartments are having a harder time. REIT names like Camden in Texas and Avalon Bay, which is heavy in New York, they could also take a hit. Kelly? All right, Diana, thank you. Diana.
And don't worry about it. This is just a part of the problem. Like I don't tell you in yesterday's videos, even though they take it down, they take them down, but yes, mental health and everything gonna come up on the masses with this pressure that the Babylon people putting on.
Oleg, we appreciate it. Joining me now to talk more about the real estate market with the recent spike in COVID cases, which is raising concerns about the housing recovery. Where are we right now and which markets are doing best? Ryan Schneider is the president and CEO of Realogy Holdings, the parent company of Century 21, Coldwell Banker, and Sotheby's.
Century 21, all coding for number 3.
Among others. Ryan, it's good to have you here. Diana was just outlining some of the problems in the rental market. Do you expect that to ripple through into the housing market overall?
Well, Kelly, thank you for having me. We're seeing something pretty different on the purchase and sales side at the moment. You know, the COVID impact was huge in terms of the negative hit in late March and early in April. But May has been an improving market for sure in terms of new transactions. June was even stronger than May and up year over year. And even the first few days of July have continued to go up. So we're watching it closely because we've seen the negativity of what COVID can do, both overall and
we see the negativity that COVID can do. You hear what he just say? And I told you already, people, the COVID is a hoax. 100% in. They're just faking the masses. And of course, once you fear and you're back against the wall, yes, you have to depend on the government people. They can do anything to you right now. That's the reason why you're walking around with a dumb mask on the face, because they tell you to. That show you that the government plan work. Of course, the brainwash is in full effect.
Geographies like what happened in New York City. But the momentum in the purchase and sales side of the housing market has been quite strong now for a few months.
Yes, it's strong.
And you know, we're obviously hopeful that continues, but we're watching the COVID situation closely.
Yeah. So overall, would you say that the pandemic is a catalyst for housing turnover, for home sales? Like you said, in this area, we saw a lot of home sales in the suburbs when it was in Manhattan really badly. What's happening now? Is it spreading throughout the South and West?
Yeah, we're starting to see that, you know, in two different ways. So first off, there are some geographies where you're literally in the data seeing the rotation from urban to suburban living. New York City is the strongest example of that. We're seeing some of that in California. There's a few other examples. But in every urban geography, the web traffic of people and what they're searching for has changed versus 6 to 12 months ago to be much more suburban. So even in the urban geographies where that rotation has not happened in the actual housing purchase.
This is how they do it right here, people, because now the interest rate is low. Yes, they're going to force a lot of people to buy. That's how it is, people. They're going to buy now because the interest rate is down. But as soon as you buy and they so-called recover, boom, interest rate go back up. That's how they do it, people. 100%. That's how they control the housing market right there.
The sales yet, the consumer searching is going in that direction. And we continue to see that through the whole COVID crisis in the last 3 months.
And I'm seeing here some of the features home buyers are looking for. 65% want access to a yard and outdoor space. 59% want a laundry room. 46% want a patio or deck. Absolutely, this sounds like those people who are frustrated by having to shelter in place, stay at home, and trying to figure out somewhere would be a little more amenable. And then tell me about the impact that rates is having. You know, how much of this is pandemic driven? How much of this is affordability?
Here we go with the rates.
Well, I think there's a big piece of it that's pandemic driven, especially some of the pent up demand after that big drop in late March and April in terms of people signing new housing contracts. But the low rate thing is a huge benefit. You know, the mortgage application increases have looked great. And remember, we were starting off the year with a very strong housing market. Right, Q1 housing growth, even with COVID hitting the last couple of weeks of March.
And that's how they do it, people. They always bring you high, the highest they can, and then let you go and let you hit ground. That's all they do when it comes to the stock market. You understand? They take you all the way up, and then they come crashing down. That's all they do, the masses. Bam.
They were evicted after the mom lost her job during this pandemic.
But they say this was totally preventable. They had gotten some much needed help, had they? All they needed was for the landlord to fill out some paperwork.
Brandon Walker picks up the story from there. He's live in Richmond tonight. And Brandon, that mother says the landlord didn't hold up his end.
This is how they want everybody to look right here. This is how it is, people. You can't tell me shit that it's not the end of times right here. What do you think? This is what's normal right here. Did you know this as normal before? Do you used to see people talk with something cover their mouth at the same time when they're trying to talk or tell you something? This is bullshit right here, people. I told you. This is end of times. You can't tell me shit.
Of the deal.
Come on.
Right, Chris, and that's what she says. First, here the optics of where we are. A master plan community still under construction here in Richmond, and the woman you are about to meet had a really good job. That is until March.
What is the really good job? You remember the first one I show you? Is the same thing they said. The man and the woman got really good job. They never tell you what it is. All of a sudden, there you go. Lose a job and
lost it. Now she has been evicted. She's packing her bags, and she fears that she's not alone and knows that with the coronavirus that has no end in sight, there'll be more people just like her.
There you go again, people. Somebody else right here packing. The camera actually in there from the news people. What, they tell you you're gonna get evicted, so you call them in so they can record you packing? No, people, it's trash. 100%. This is a mockery, and the real people that gotta go through this shit right here. Nothing but acting on
It
TV.
hasn't been a year since Lisa Pradia unpacked to move in. This is a lot. Yet here she is packing up to move out. The eviction ruling on her coffee table, the reason why.
Never thought I'd be in this situation ever.
Look at this right here, people. Look at this right here. Wow. This is the law paper right here, people. Look at it. Wow, Fort Bend County. State of Texas. Take a look. The star right there, people. What is the star about? You never get it. The devil people right here control this earth 100%. And you see these flowers that go around it? They show you in plain sight that they're running the whole thing.
Never thought I'd be in this situation ever.
Facing eviction during a pandemic like
of course, bringing the news people inside your home because you're getting evicted. It's bullshit, people. 100% crap. They're giving the masses.
A number of Texans who, just like Pradia, never thought they'd see the day or days, beginning when she lost her job.
It was March 2nd.
March 2nd, another 3-2.
What I did was immediately, I called 211, and they gave me a list of different entities that I could call to try to get help.
She says she used her stimulus check to pay partial rent on the home she leases in Richmond. By April, Pradia received word a local charity would help her.
Local charity with the cross on it right there, people. Don't trust them. 100% satanic with your CC.
By April, Pradia received word a local charity would help her. All she would need is for her landlord to fill out a W-9. She called him.
There you go, a W-9. All called in.
He's going to take a look at it and he'll get back with me. Only he didn't get back with me.
She says the landlord contacted her again in June, telling her to apply for rental assistance through Fort Bend County Judge K.P. George.
I do it. I contact him, let him know that, I've been approved. So instead of him saying, okay, yes, he sends me this list of what I owe.
The landlord never filled out the necessary paperwork, Pradia alleges. By June 30th, the judge ruled in his favor.
June 30th. There you go, people. All June 30th is called in 6336s.
$11,000 in court fees and back rent as part of that ruling.
Wow. All bullshit. So you bring them in your home so they can cry, so you can cry on TV. All fake with people, and I've thought about it.
A single mother appealed the ruling, borrowed $2,300 to do.
$2,300. There you go, your 2-3 again, people. All called in, and of course you're ready to move. You're packing boxes and everything. There you go. All of these shit still sitting there. They're full of shit on the masses. You wake up.
She'll have her day in court next week, but fears with little protection as a tenant in Texas. She and her daughter's fate is all but sealed.
It's obvious that they don't care about us, the people. So I have to get my things out of here, and then we have to figure out what's going to happen next.
There you go, people. This is what's going to happen to the regular people in life right here. You take the virus serious and locking down. There you go.
The temporary freeze on evictions in Michigan set to expire at midnight.
It's something many temporary freeze is 10 to up at midnight. As you can see this one in the purple tie right here. Full eye.
Tenants are worried about as the economic fallout from the pandemic is far from over.
And 7 Action News reporter Jen Shans live for us this morning with one tenant's story and what experts say you should keep in mind if you're struggling to make rent. Jen?
Amira, Wanda Upshaw lives here in News Center. She has a master's degree. She's in the process of getting her PhD, and she has a good job. She makes decent money. But
good job again. Decent money. Pay attention.
So many other Michiganders, the pandemic led to a sudden shortage in her hours, and before she knew it, she was having a hard time making rent.
I'm still not out of the woods.
Wanda Upshaw was worried about paying her rent during the pandemic.
I was reduced to part-time, which I fell behind in my rent.
She got help through the United Community Housing Coalition, UCHC, which mailed her a letter offering its services. Before she qualified, she says, she first had to apply for help through the Department of Human Services. Once she was denied, UCHC stepped in.
UCHC was able to negotiate with my landlord, and if they weren't there, I don't think I would have had,
Look at the clothing.
And if they weren't...
Look at the clothing right here. 1866. That's the coding right there for 666. Just wake your ass up. This 1 and 8 make a 9. Same damn 6 upside down.
Here, I don't think I would have had, been in a good negotiation process.
Upshaw is now making rent payments to her landlord and remains in her New Center apartment. While she was negotiating, eviction orders weren't enforced. Starting at midnight, once the moratorium lifts, they can be.
We think more time is needed for the moratorium. We're calling for an extension, a substantial one, in order to avoid short extensions that have to be...
All they're doing is fooling the people with these so-called holding off the people from collecting rent or from evicting you. You believe them? How long can they do that? They talk about the federal mortgage. They know already with the mortgage. They can always get you. They don't have to rush you right now for the money. Because, of course, if it takes 6-7 months for you to start paying your rent again or your mortgage, of course, you still hold that money to the damn government. So don't worry about them. We're talking about the people, the regular people that have somewhere and rent it out to somebody else. That's how they eat. Of course, you have to pay them their damn rent with this lockdown all set up for that right there to break the poor people.
If you're facing an eviction, check the mail. You can't be evicted without a notice and an eviction complaint or summons. If a case moves forward against you, show up to court. And know your resources, like UCHC or Michigan Legal Help, which has pandemic-specific information to help you navigate an eviction.
People need help out here. A lot of people, I know they're getting the unemployment and all that, but it's...
And don't worry about it. I already tell you about it in the last video about the unemployment. You're also going to have problem with that in a minute. They're going to tell you money run out. They're waiting for bill to sign for stimulus and all of that shit. All show for the dumb people. Of course, they got your damn attention with that shit. Signing bill and everything is garbage. All a show for the dumb people.
It's not enough.
Pandemic
like I said, I got the help. I'm still in paying off a portion.
Another reminder Upshaw hopes other tenants keep in mind is the importance of communicating with your landlord, talking to them before you get to the point that you can't pay your rent on time. That's something she did, and she said she was grateful that she had that open line.
Yes, I know, people. It started out good with the government coming out and tell you, just quarantine. We don't need much from you. Just stay at home, and we take care of the rest. We send you a stimulus. We're going to give you unemployment, and we also going to hold off eviction. Now you see it right here, that there was lying to the masses, all a deception for you to buy into the lockdown. You see that? Told you it's a one world order, and this is what they're doing all over the world. You think it's just here? Bam on.
Courts are expected to be busy at the end of the month. Eviction filings in many cities are expected to resume as funding for extra unemployment money runs out.
You see that? Funding for unemployment money, extra unemployment money, now run out. What I don't tell you, people, all of the so-called packages that they're so-called preparing for you, they're gonna tell you to run out. Even the one that start up in your little city or county, all fucking bullshit telling you that it's run out. Yes, they run out of money. Full of shit on.
Press reporter Dan Grossman shows you it's creating an uncertain future for millions.
There you go. That's what they're doing.
Skyline sings songs of progress and growth. Dormant windows, however, they foreshadow a reality that could manifest in the not-too-distant future.
There's just a lot of fear. People are really concerned about where they're going to go.
And that's what they run the world with, fear. If it wasn't for fear, you wouldn't be in this situation right here. You're scared of something that they tell you how to kill you. How dumb can you be? Why would you live in this devil earth with fear? How can you do it? That's dumb, people.
When that demand is placed on their door.
Zach Newman is an attorney who started up the COVID-19 Eviction Defense Project. At the end of July, CARES funding is set to expire, stopping the $600 extra in weekly...
There you go, people. $600 extra a week they so-called was giving you, and the unemployment to go towards rent. There you go. They're full of shit on the masses, and it's a reason why it's 600, all coding for the masses.
Unemployment funding. At the same time, several cities across the country will lift their moratoriums on evictions, creating a gloomy future for the more than 20% of renters who struggle to...
Just like they know, people, like they might tell you, we're going to lock down for a month or 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, before it ends, they come out and tell you, yes, they have to extend it. Why you don't do that with these so-called bills and shit that you have to sign? Why that get over with before it's so-called expire, just like you do with the damn lockdown, playing with the people?
Pay their rent in May. It's already been seen in Memphis, where 9,000 eviction cases
9,000, there you go right there, all coding.
Last month, and Virginia, where 12,000 cases were
There you go, 12 is in number 3 right there again, all coding.
filed when its moratorium was lifted.
I think you have people who are behind on their rent right now who haven't been able to make full payment. But then I think the bigger source of filings is going to be in early September when we are definitively out of the CARES Act money window.
In cities like Denver and Seattle, where rent has doubled over the course of the last decade, the problem is only exacerbated. Cities know moratoriums on evictions
What is this right here, people? Is this a damn joke?
only last so long, which is why here in Seattle, city commissioners passed legislation back in May anticipating a spike.
Landlords would be prohibited from using that eviction history as a basis for denying tenancy and denying people a place to live.
The ban would last up to 6 months after the pandemic, helping
6 months after the pandemic, another coding, and I told you already, people, all of this right here is just to play with the masses. And I tell you, in the name of fear, of course, that's the reason why you're buying to everything they give you. You're even mad at the people that don't buy in because you're so scared. Yes, you want somebody to wear a mask to save you. You're dumb as a box of rocks. Bam.
Rolling up to Capitol Hill for a
Look at this show right here that you get from these people. It's just a show, people. Why you can't get it? Just a show. They know you're waiting for money, stimulus and all. So they're playing this game on you right here with these bills signing. It's garbage.
Saturday, the president's top negotiators on the next COVID relief package.
There you go. Next COVID relief package. And you see these characters come out. It's just a show, people. Like I show you with all those court cases with these politicians going to court and going to jail. It's nothing but show for the dumb people. You're buying? Come on.
Present a Republican plan Monday.
I think the president has been very clear. He wants to make sure that the American people have what they need.
There you go. Yes, the president gonna make sure that the American people got what they need. You believe them? Wow, the people is just stupid.
How much will the federal government add to state unemployment benefits as the $600 emergency payments to 20 million jobless Americans expire within days?
Wow.
Today,
Why did you make it expire? Just like you don't make the lockdown expire, why would you make that make this so-called money package that you have to keep the people afloat? Why would you make it expire and then bring out all these sodomites to talk? Get out of here. It's just bullshit to make these people more relevant. You never get it. All
Mnuchin called for a different formula.
We're not going to use taxpayer money to pay people more to stay home. We've talked about approximately 7.
You see him with the one eye symbol? Of course, that's what they do. Why you can't give the people their own money, the tax money? Why you saving it? You can't give the people the tax money to keep them to keep them afloat. Why you can't? The same people you're talking about is the ones that you take the tax from. They don't pay shit. You took it. Nobody pay tax. You took the damn taxes out. Now you're gonna tell me you're not gonna use it to help the people and keep them afloat? What the fuck is you saving it for? For your damn self? They don't like to give back the people the money that they put in. All those money the people put in, they want to keep it to keep you in damn slavery.
% wage replacement.
Mnuchin said he is talking with Speaker Nancy
Look at them people, two
Pelosi,
fucking fakers.
who is...
Look at the Nancy Pelosi, just a masked up faker right here on screen, and take a look at what he got on the clothing right there. The wings with the damn serpents right there. What you think? Devil work
fighting
on?
To extend the $600 payments.
Everybody wants to talk about. I told you, look at him, purple clothing on, and I tell you, this is how they make heroes out of the bullshit. What you gonna do? You're gonna have respect for this sodomite right here with the bent up face because he say looking out for you? Come on, they just playing a game.
Being family friendly. Let's not squawk about $600.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin mother of 2, Mercedes Borges, is one of an estimated 12 million American renters who face a new threat of eviction.
Wow.
Defendant is 9 months past due on rent.
There you go, 9 months past due, and of course the camera crew is right there in their home. I told you it's a hoax, 100%. I just tell you what they're doing. They're mocking the real people that actually going through this right here. They're never gonna surface no real people on TV.
At risk now because the federal hold on evictions just expired, so landlords can start the clock on legal proceedings. Mercedes is worried about protecting
what kind of shirt you got on?
legal proceedings.
Of course,
Mercedes
you know. This is NASA right there. I already told you people, they never miss. Anybody you see on TV, programmer for the dumb fools, you never get it. Why you think he got the NASA shirt on?
Worried about protecting her children.
That means so much to me.
And of course you're gonna come and cry on TV, bullshit on. All they give you is fakers, 100%.
I know they don't mean anything to my landlord.
Like the damn NASA.
But they mean something to me.
I told you what they did already. No, you can't cry. You're wiping tears, but now you're crying and no tears. Get out of here.
Today, the vice president visited Massachusetts, where more than 500,000 are receiving unemployment benefits. Pence talked up a new relief package to the governor.
We're going to make sure that families in this state and businesses in this state.
Actors on screen. That's why they're there, fooling the dumb masses. They know your brain is weak. Of course.
And your administration have the resources to continue to move forward.
Kelly, what else could be in the package?
Well, expect getting cash in people's hands.
Yes,
Remember the
cash in people's hands. I already told you. That's why you're buying to the lockdown in the first place. I already told you. Most of the people who mostly believe in the virus, yes, they get that little stimulus package. Stimulate their damn brain. Why you think they believe it? You never get it. They say, oh, the government won't send us money if it's a fake virus. Really? They know where you're going to spend that money, going right back to them. That's how they keep you in a mental box they call slavery. No doubt about it. I'm gone.